Welcome back to another one, you guys. If you are new to the channel, my name is Andrew with Younger Toyota in Hagerstown, Maryland. For more information on our inventory, please feel free to check out the link in the description box below. So today we're in the brand new 2025 Toyota Corolla Hybrid because this thing gives you 50 plus miles per gallon. All-wheel drive is available. You get incredible reliability, of course, and you also get 2 years and 25,000 miles of complimentary maintenance as well. So ultimately in this video, we will be testing out and going over everything about this one. So having said that, what do you guys say? Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. And as always, let's start with pricing. And so there are a few different trim levels for the 2025 Corolla Hybrid. You got the LE starting at $23,825, which is a modest $525 bump from the 2024 model year. SE, which is the one we are in today, going for $26,265. And lastly, the XLE starting at $28,190. And so the way the all-wheel drive works is for the first two trim levels, all-wheel drive is available. If you wanted that, simply add $1,400. However, for the XLE, front-wheel drive is only available. So that's the way it works. But regardless of the trim level that you go with, the power plant on the Corolla Hybrid is going to be the same. And so powering this beast is a 1.8 liter naturally aspirated four-cylinder with two electric motors, putting out a combined 138 horsepower, 105 pound-feet of torque. That power being sent to the front wheels or all wheels through a continuously variable transmission. As far as the 0 to 60 time goes, it comes in at approximately 9 seconds flat. As far as MPG numbers go, this is the best part. You're going to get up to 53 miles per gallon in the city, 46 on the highway for that front wheel drive, and then the all-wheel drive brings it down to 47 in the city, 41 on the highway, taking regular unleaded fuel. And yes, I am testing the MPGs right now. I reset it at the very beginning of this drive. I'm going to be testing out the acceleration with that as well. So at the end of this drive, we'll see how many miles per gallon I actually end up with. I'll tell you guys that when we get to the exterior part. But anyways, before we do any kind of fun acceleration test here in the Corolla Hybrid, I did want to mention to you guys the drive modes. There's actually a silver toggle switch located just in front of the shifter there. Drive modes are going to be available for the SE trim level only, so the trim level that we have with us here today. They will include normal, sport, eco, and EV, adjusting things like the shift points and the throttle response. So now I've got all of that out of the way, what do you guys say? Let's go ahead and find a straightaway. Let's put the acceleration here to the test, and let's see how quickly we can get our new 2025 Corolla Hybrid here up to speed. All right, found our straightaway in 3, 2, 1, go! Nice initial get up and go there. It's slow. There's no doubt it's slow. But like I said, because of the two electric motors, there was a decent amount of initial get up and go. So this car would be excellent for city driving. So like zipping around city streets like that. And that gives you incredible miles per gallon in the city as well, over 50 miles per gallon. But yeah, once you start getting higher up in the RPMs, this thing still, it's just not the quickest. But with any car though, I will say you will get used to it. I can almost guarantee you that. It's just like the rear visibility with a 370Z or a Corvette or something like that. You do get used to it. Everybody will tell you that. So learn to adapt to how your vehicle is. So it's not the quickest thing, but that's okay. But anyways, to go along with that acceleration, as always, braking is equally important. And so up front, you will find 10.8-inch ventilated front discs. In the back, 10.2-inch solid rear discs. As far as that braking feel goes, it's nice. It's actually, it's a little bit on the firmer side of things, so it's not a soft braking feel. We are just, we are not helping the MPGs of this thing, but it's not as soft of a braking feel as I thought it was gonna be. So the braking feel actually isn't bad. I don't mind it in the Corolla Hybrid. But then touching on suspension and handling, up front you're gonna get an independent McPherson strut front suspension. In the back, independent multi-link rear suspension, front stabilizer bar as well. Overall, as far as ride quality goes, that has been brilliant. That's one of the things that the Corolla has always been known for, in my particular opinion at least, after driving every single car in this segment. There's certain cars that ride a little bit more rough, and typically compact cars typically do ride a little bit more rough, but with the Corolla and the Corolla Hybrid, it's the best in class without a doubt. After driving over 1,000 cars and every car in this segment, I can tell you guys, this is a very smooth ride for what a compact car is. So I actually love the ride quality. As far as steering feel goes, let me actually put it back in that sport driving mode. I just want to see if there's, yeah, so the steering feel is actually adjusted within the sport driving mode as well. I just wanted to test that out because I didn't say it previously. So that's really nice. If you wanted a heavier steering feel, you got that sport driving mode. And if you wanted a looser steering feel, go with normal or eco or something like that. So you get something for everybody there. I like that. And touching on cabin noise is the perfect test. We're going 53 miles per hour right now. I get a little bit of engine noise like you guys are hearing right now. I feel like we're driving up a mountain here. But other than that, it's been pretty serene, and I don't mind the engine noise just because, you know, if you're a car guy or girl, you're gonna like that. So I don't mind it. But then touching on rear visibility, because of the shape of the Corolla, you're 100% not gonna have any issues there either. But that pretty much rounds out the performance segment of this review, guys. Let me drive back to the dealership here, and then I will tell you how many miles per gallon I have gotten so far. All right, so here she is, you guys, the new 2025 Toyota Corolla Hybrid, finished in blueprint, in case you were curious of the exact exterior color name. This one especially looks good when the sun hits it on the left-hand side there. I think it looks good at least. But as always, let's go ahead and start with where the Corolla Hybrid is made. Taking a look at the VIN, first character is the letter J, indicating that this one is built and assembled in Japan, as it should be. But starting up front, when it comes to the front fascia here, it is going to differ between the SE and the other trim levels, because the SE and the LE always differ when it comes to the Corolla. So you're going to get a more aggressive look essentially with the SE that we have with us here today, a little more subdued look with the LE. But to the sides, LED headlights with LED daytime running lights do come standard for all trim levels across the board. Get the automatic feature as well. You also get automatic high beams, so if you have your high beams on at night and it senses a vehicle coming in the opposite direction, it's going to automatically dim them back to low beams. And when that vehicle is gone, it's going to automatically bounce it back up the high beams for you there. You also get some LED accent lighting for the SE trim level that is kind of located down below there. And of course, you also have that blue Toyota badge, because this is a hybrid and that's what Toyota does. But very good looking front end here, in my personal opinion. But that pretty much rounds out the front end. Let's now go ahead and swing around to the side. All right, so now since we are around to the side of the Corolla here, matte black window surrounds will come standard. Taking a look at the side mirrors, they are body colored power adjustable side mirrors, and you actually get integrated turn signals. You guys can see those, so that's pretty cool as well. But then take a look down at the wheel setup. You're going to find 16-inch steel wheels with covers for the LE, 16-inch alloys for the XLE, and the largest 18-inch graphite colored alloys for our SE trim that we have with us here today. Then if you go with the all-wheel drive, you're going to get some all-wheel drive badging found in the bottom portion of the rear doors, in case you were curious about that. But that pretty much rounds out the side profile. Let's now go ahead and swing around to the back. All right, so now since we are around to the back of the Corolla Hybrid here, all the way to the top, body colored shark fin antenna. Just below that, you are looking at a body colored lip spoiler that is going to be with the SE trim level only, in case you were curious about that. You do have some trim level badging found in the trunk. Of course, LED taillights actually do come standard for all trim levels across the board. I like that as well. One of the new things for 2025, in case you guys didn't know, you have this hybrid electric vehicle badging found just underneath the trim level there. They did not have that last year. Not like it's a big deal, but that is one of the changes for the 2025 Corolla Hybrid. You got the gloss black rear diffuser. That definitely looks good, and that's for the SE trim level only, by the way. And then to the bottom corner there, you will find a single exhaust outlet. However, with the SE trim only, again, it is with chrome tips, so much cooler look in my opinion. But again, this is a hybrid, so I'm not sure this is going to work, but we're going to give it a shot. As always, here is that exhaust clip. Alright, so now since we are around to the back of the Corolla Hybrid here, when it comes to opening that rear trunk, there is a button on the key fob, also a rubberized button on the trunk itself then as well. But once opened up, cargo capacity comes in at 13.1 cubic feet. If that was not enough space, of course the rear seats do fold down. There's a 60-40 split, so that's quite a bit of extra space then if you needed it. There is some LED cargo lighting back there. You don't always find the LEDs, so I like that. Then if you were to lift up underneath of that cargo floor, you will find a tire inflator kit as opposed to the spare tire. Would have preferred the spare tire, but that's okay. But then making our way up to the rear legroom, that comes in at 34.8 inches. For reference, I'm an even 6 feet tall. This is how much space I had in the rear seats there. There is a rear center armrest with cup holders for all trim levels across the board, believe it or not. Also, dual rear USB charging ports for all trim levels across the board yet again. So if you got kids in the back, they're going to stay charged up. The only thing is there's no rear ventilation, but there isn't any rear ventilation on any of the other competition either for a compact car like this. So so no worries there. But then making our way up to the front seats, manually adjustable cloth seats for the LE. You're gonna get sport fabric inserts for the SE, and that's gonna be finished in red. That looks pretty good. 8-way power driver's seat for the XLE, and that XLE is also gonna give you heated front seats and a Softex upholstery, or the leatherette as well. So overall though, as far as seat comfort goes, honestly, these are probably the most comfortable cloth seats that I've ever sat in. These are really, really nice. So huge fan when it comes to seat comfort in this thing. But then taking a look at the steering wheel, it is tilt and telescoping. It is going to be leather wrapped then for the SE trim level and up. Had no issues there. Making our way to the startup. Let me start by showing you guys the key. You got your Toyota logo at the bottom, lock, unlock, and the button to pop the trunk there. But it is all keyless entry with the push button start for the SE trim level and up, meaning it is a turnkey start for that LE trim level, in case you were curious about that. But all I'm going to do here is simply put my foot on the brake and press that engine start button located just by the driver's right knee. And so when it comes to the gauges here, here's what I got on my little drive here: 50.5 miles per gallon, and that is all highway driving. That is no city driving whatsoever. So I was going like 50, 55 miles per hour the entire time essentially on that drive. So that's pretty good for all highway driving. Again, you get better MPGs in the city. So if I were to be city driving, it would have been in EV mode a lot more, and that's why you get better MPGs. So that's the way it turned out. So anyways, when it comes to the gauge cluster though, it is going to differ yet again. For the LE trim level, you're going to get analog gauges with a 4.2-inch screen. However, for the SE and XLE, you're looking at a 7-inch digital screen here front and center, and this gauge cluster doesn't look bad. You got your fuel information there to your right, and when you change the drive mode, it kind of changes the hues, the colors surrounding the gauges as well. So if I put it in normal, you're going to get a lot of blue. If I put it in eco, you're going to get some green, and then of course sport is going to be red. So gauges look pretty darn good. I wouldn't have minded a bit more customization, but they're not bad. But anyways, then making our way to overall interior quality, a power moonroof is going to come on the XLE trim level. It is going to be optional on our SE trim level. We got that option, so that's pretty stinking cool. Red contrast stitching is going to be had with the SE trim level only. A frameless rear view mirror with HomeLink controls is going to be optional if you wanted that. Also, LED interior lighting, and it's kind of set up in a design that's similar to Mercedes-Benz. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that before, but it's pretty darn similar. Just in front of the shifter, you got a wireless phone charger. I almost didn't even see that. That's pretty stinking cool too. That's new. I don't remember that before, but anyways, gloss black finish surrounding the shifter. I love that as well. Just behind that, a couple cup holders, electromechanical parking brake, and then within the center armrest, you have a 12-volt power outlet and a USB charging port in there as well. I like that, and not a ton of space, but it gets the job done. I like the silver door handles on our SE trim level here today too. I'm pretty sure they're black on the LE. Not sure about the XLE, but overall interior quality is perfectly fine. I don't have any issues. Not the fancy, but it gets the job done. But let's go ahead and take a look at the infotainment screen here. This is an 8-inch infotainment screen. You get Bluetooth and audio streaming, wireless Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. You can check out vehicle statistics up there as well, along with your radio information. So when it comes to the sound systems, there's essentially one of them really. It's a 6-speaker sound system for all trim levels, but there's an optional sound system that's a 9-speaker JBL sound system. So it's not the one that we have today. We do have the 6 speakers, so let's go ahead and turn on the radio, see what we got playing this morning, and let's test out the clarity of this one. I almost don't believe that that's a 6-speaker sound system, because for a 6-speaker sound system, that may be the best 6-speaker sound system that I've ever heard. That's really good, surprisingly. Of course the JBL is going to be better, but that's a really good 6-speaker sound system, honestly. I don't have any issues there. But last thing I wanted to mention to you guys on the infotainment screen is when you do put the Corolla Hybrid in reverse, you will find a rear view camera. It does take up the entire screen, which is super cool. It also is going to make that chiming noise you're probably hearing through the mic right now, because this is a hybrid after all. People need to know when you're backing up and moving around because the car is so quiet, but that is always going to lead us into safety. And so starting with the best part, this is an IIHS top safety pick, so heck of a start right there. Front side curtain airbags do come standard. You also get a driver's knee airbag, also a front passenger seat cushion airbag, and rear side impact airbags as well, which by the way is like a $600 option in BMW and Mercedes. So that's nuts. That's a lot of airbags. But also in the back, you got latch, aka lower anchors and tethers for children for the rear car seats, rear child door locks, tire pressure monitoring system, but also coming standard, Toyota Safety Sense 3.0. That gives you a pre-collision system with pedestrian detection, proactive driving assist, lane departure alert, steering assist, road sign assist, and dynamic radar cruise control as well. So overall, when it comes to my final thoughts here of the Corolla Hybrid, excellent reliability. That is something Toyota has perfected with all of their hybrids, so you gotta love that. Great MPGs. I got over 50 miles per gallon myself. If I were to do more city driving, I'm sure it would have been even higher. Great ride quality as well. When you compare this to the other compact sedans in its class, this is the best ride quality that you're gonna find. Now, it's not the best steering feel. That's gonna be had with like the Mazda 3 and the Honda Civic, cars like that, but it definitely has got the ride quality down. Also nice styling as well. I think this one still looks plenty fine. I love the all-wheel drive availability, but that is about it for this one, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to follow Younger Toyota somewhere on the screen there. Be sure to hit the subscribe and the bell notification button if you're into new car reviews and all of our fun YouTube shorts we put on our channel as well. Do appreciate you guys watching more than you know, and we will see you guys all in the next video. Bye.